you can't deny the reality that you got to make a living, and you can't deny the reality that you need to change. And there are so many things that I really should do that are really good ideas that I don't do because I think they're wrong until somebody's like, why do you think it's wrong? And then I try to explain it, and I'm like,
And you can't?
I guess it's because of my ego, because like it's just not how I see myself.
I do feel more awkward promoting my own stuff than the stuff for sponsors.
That's different from me.
What got you here won't get you there. It's exactly that.
You need to remember that your biggest asset is you. I'm gonna be the last guy on YouTube.
Actually, I don't know if I agree with that. You left a comment on a previous video that I've done recently about like starting over and how I lost track of my career. You know, it was like very vulnerable and like opening up about a lot of topics. And you said that you'd be thrilled to like have like brainstorm session about like what a new type of content could look like in the music YouTube space, because I was talking a bit about this like YouTube burnout for music creators and things like that. So yeah, I wanted to start there. Like what made you, I guess, connect to it and like relate to it?
Yeah, well, so I've been doing YouTube since 2010, and there's been a lot of ups and downs. And one thing I've noticed is that every now and then, as you change, you look at what you're doing, you look around you, and you're like, wait, this isn't me. What, like, why am I still doing this? You know, I'm so interested in all these other things. And then if you have the courage and the good fortune to like go and pursue those other things that you're interested in, it can work out that ends up creating a whole new type of content, a whole new type of way of being a YouTuber, and it can be really great artistically. But at the same time, you're kind of bound to lose some of your former audience by switching things up.
Yeah.
You'll see it with musicians all the time where, you know, they make albums and everyone's into those albums, and then their next album's different and then everyone's upset, but then new people come in.
Yeah.
And this process, it's like a cycle that I've noticed, and it's been, you know, difficult at times. And I went through it in a big way in 2020. Like, it was a really, you know, productive time for me as an artist, and I really bloomed because being in lockdown it forced me to stop touring all the time, which then forced me to like kind of settle into like, who am I when I'm not constantly doing that? And that was really big. But then, you know, lockdown ends, luckily, you know, it's great. But then it's like, wait, everything that I was just doing doesn't really make sense now. I was streaming a lot in a certain way that was like, you know, getting online whenever. I didn't have like a schedule that strict. I was just like getting online, and people would be there because, you know, everyone was just at home. And I moved and I got more isolated and I stopped touring, and I had to find another way to make content. And then it happened even again. And I feel like in the last 5 years, I've gone through this kind of like starting YouTube again, stopping YouTube again, starting YouTube again thing so many times. And I kind of recognized it in your, the way you described it, how, you know, it takes a lot of courage, I think, on your end. You know, it's courageous for you to find new types of content to do when your content has been so successful. And like one of the metrics, like you can see how successful you've been because your view counts will be much higher than your subscriber counts, and that's really ideal. You know what I mean? It's like you're really getting to people, and then that makes it scary because now you have to protect it.
Yeah.
So I thought it might be cool because I'm also in a new reset again. It might be cool to talk through that.
It's a constant evolution because you find a content format that works. You ride that wave, but then it's kind of like, I feel like as a creator, you kind of like outgrow yourself. Kind of like that thing with the album. It's like, you know, the audience constantly wants more of like the same thing, but then you also want to try and make some new, different style of music, you know? And it's always like this constant scary period between doing something that fulfill you versus continuing what works, you know, because at the end of the day,
Totally.
you still need to make a living.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's definitely tough because like it's like those two parts of yourself like fighting each other. It's like, oh, but
Yeah.
I really want to do this. Like, I'm not fascinated by this, but I know this will, help me grow and make money, for the end of the month. They want
Yeah.
this. But
That's real.
yeah, it's definitely a struggle. But yeah, it's just a constant like evolution. I mean, I think the successful like YouTubers, are the ones that can consistently kind of like keep reinventing themselves and keep like throwing new formats to, yeah, maybe some people will leave, but the new ones that fits how like with who you are and your interests right now will come, and it'll just continue. So I think it's a constant evolution of you and your audience as well.
Totally. Yeah. You can't deny either thing. You can't deny the reality that you got to make a living, and you can't deny the reality that you need to change. And like you said, they
Yeah.
they do butt heads. Have you found anything like since you posted that video that you're really excited about that you're working on?
I mean, right now, I've done like those, like, recording those chats that I'm having with other music creators. Obviously, I know they won't perform as well because it's like long videos, so like, or maybe it needs some time to take or whatever. I know the ones that are really interested in it will watch it. Maybe it'll take time as well for it to find a new audience that likes it. We'll see. I've been enjoying personally doing them because I love chatting about this stuff with other music creators. As I was just saying before we started recording, it can be a very lonely career to do this in your bedroom because you
Mm-hmm.
never really see other people, even if you collaborate with other artists or whatever. It's still like online, so it can be lonely. So it's nice to do those chats, and it's pretty cool just to see like other people's perspective, see other people's experiences, where they're going with their own journey, and take a few things, for yourself. It kind of helps. But yeah, so otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
except that, I've been, I think, honestly, like just going back to music more. I still haven't done much like of the video stuff. If I do some of the video stuff, the next one that I'm probably gonna do, and I'm probably gonna start very soon, is just to document myself like trying to sign my next 3 songs to labels, and just like not plan it too much, really just like turn on the camera and just show how I go about it, the struggles that I run into, same core original principle or idea that I had with my channel, which was to document my music journey. So I think I just want to go back to this
Mm-hmm.
more, because this really is what is important to me, I think. And yeah, right now, like, it's Thursday, the last 3 days, I've had time for music. I've had time for a couple business tasks, YouTube tasks. I've had time to like exercise. And so it's been like much more balanced. And I think that's been what I'm focusing on lately, is bringing back that music into my life, that more focusing on this, less of the business stuff. And yeah, recovering that balance.
And you had mentioned that you're kind of tired of using the teleprompter, right? Or like tired of scripting things super closely. So this more documentary approach will definitely help with that too, it sounds like.
Oh yeah, definitely will be less, if not scripted at all. Honestly,
Yeah, great.
I think it'll just be probably more footage and more work for my editor. But
Okay.
because I think the storytelling will have to be made in the edit, but it's just, I think sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's scary to try a new format as well. Like, I don't know if you get that, but every time I want to try a new format of video, because I have my way of doing my
Mm-hmm.
specific content format, it's like it's hard because it gets you out of your comfort zone. It always takes me like weeks or months to actually try that new format that I have as an idea. Is that something
Mm.
that you run into?
Well, I have a pretty easy time switching up formats because I have like a kind of hyperactive channel switching like approach to art in general. But what really does get me is I'll get really excited about a new format, and I'll get really excited about a thing that I've made, and then kind of get punished brutally by the results from an algorithm standpoint, and then I have to like really fight to remember why I'm doing it, like why this is important to me. And so like, for example, I have this like little cartoon called Sweeties and Cuties where there's like little ducks and birds and bunnies and dogs and stuff that sing short musicals, and I always posted them as one-offs, like on Instagram or TikTok. But I had the idea to make 15 that are all connected to make one big story and make a season of it. And so I made them all in advance and, put in a lot of time animating like 20 minutes of stuff. And then I started putting them out recently, and, artistically, I love it. And it's really connecting, and some people are really feeling it, but algorithmically, it did drastically worse than my usual. I could make a Sweetie Cutie and I could get 100,000 views on it and be like, oh, it did okay. But, that was like the bar before, but now it's like, a 5,000 views is solid for them now with this new approach. It's a drastic dip, and if you're looking at it as a business standpoint, it's almost like devastating. Like with the views I was getting before, I could maybe make a toy line, maybe I could make a book. With this current version of views where I've got these deep characters and you're crying by the end of these 15 episodes, it's like business wise, cursed.
Actually,
but
I don't know if I agree with that.
Oh, tell me more.
I think I've had this conversation with the previous music creator talks episode with Zach Hydia, which is a music composer for like TV games and all. And we've been talking a lot about how, like you were just saying, like toy line or book, which are like basically low ticket products, where yes, for those things you need like a ton of traffic and a lot of views, but that's because it doesn't really go deep and connect with people. But if you actually get 5,000 views on each videos where people connect deeply with you, your story, and the characters and all of that, I think this is where you can attract, I think, higher paying clients or customers for whatever thing you want to offer.
That is a good way of looking at the world. I think, that the amount of times that's true makes it, worth pursuing, even if sometimes it turns out not to be. Like, there's a chance that the 5,000 people watching each video are not the same people each time. It's just like that's how many it's serving it to. But I like that way of thinking because I would much rather try to connect with my human intuition with a few people than with a wide net. My intuition starts to fail the more people you throw into my audience pool. I can really connect. Like right now, talking one-on-one, it's easy enough for us to convey ideas without a lot of confusion, but we'll still miss some things just because that's how it is. Like talking is limited. But then when you imagine like you're sitting on a Zoom talking to 100,000 people, you're going to be confusing the hell out of way more people than normal, So yeah, I do feel more qualified to make art for fewer people at once.
What do you mean by qualified?
I think like that's a good question. I think maybe it's more like if I'm trying to express a certain thing, I think I can get it through clearer to fewer people. If it's like, well, like this sort of the saying goes, like write for one person, like if you're gonna, like right.
I think it's just, it's like, that's the same with everything, like have like one perfect target customer, audience, viewer, or whatever. Make it for that person, but then it's not because you make it for that person that you won't attract other people.
Right.
I think it's that same metaphor that I think a previous like course creator that I took was saying, like you're targeting a whale, but there's always going to be fishes around it, basically. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you might, because I think the more specific you are, the more you're going to connect and attract the right people.
Yeah.
And it's more important because, like, for example, I always take that example. Like, I'd rather have 5,000 views from people that are exactly the perfect audience for me, for my offers, for my business, for my music, rather than 100,000 views of random people that aren't really interested in following up with what I do or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you find that in the stuff you've put out, when there are, like videos that have a ton of views, that that there's a real difference in the way those people are relating to the content than when you have videos that are, like, let's say, more like in the middle?
Yeah, I mean, the videos that performs the best on my channel, that goes like, viral, if we could call it that, it's more like it's in the depth of the comments. The comments are gonna be like, great video, cool, thank you, good luck for the rest. Like, thanks a lot for this video. Just like very like surface level comments, and it's not gonna be much. Whereas a video like the last one that I did that you commented on, about me opening up about my struggle with my current music career, and being more vulnerable, these videos have a ton more comments. And it's comments that are like paragraphs long, with people sharing also their, thoughts about all this, because they connect way more on like an emotional level with me. And usually those are also those videos that are going to help to get myself like clients, customers, students. Whereas those other videos that perform well in the algorithm is just more for like discovery.
Right. Yeah. Like blasting the top of the funnel, as they say, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And also I've noticed like that video, that last one where I was sharing more about me and vulnerable, 0 mean comment at all. The other one that I posted like I think 2 months ago, it's almost at 100K views. It has a ton of mean comments.
Yeah, people are just like being willfully obtuse, like intentionally misunderstanding where you're coming from.
Yeah, they're misunderstanding. Because like the thing is, those videos that perform well, they're like usually like fast, quick tips, value, And so it's mostly like it's a lot of people that are here for like quick stuff. They're not like necessarily serious people. Whereas those other videos where it's more like less edited and more sharing, that's where it's more serious people that connect with you, that likes you as a person, more, as an artist and as whatever. They're here more for you than just the content and the value information of it. So yeah, those videos like that perform really well. Obviously, they get more mean comments because it's reaching a new audience, and obviously, it's only like, how do you say? It's like the silent minority or whatever. It's like it's just the people that have something bad to say that are gonna take the time out of their day to write bad comments. The rest, they're happy. They watch the video. They go on with their day, right? But it doesn't mean that the video didn't perform, because it still brought a lot of new eyes to my channel, my music career, and all that. So yeah, those are kind of like the differences that I've noticed between those two types of videos.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I'm always trying to keep a good ratio between those two types of videos.
Yeah. How do you navigate that? Like how do you plan out that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, usually, right now I'm going to be a bit more relaxed and chill about it, like laxed about it. But usually before, let's say, I have 4 videos in the month, like 1 a week. I'm going to try and do 2 videos that are like for the top of the funnel that I know are going to work well. It's something that I know the audience wants to see, edited, quick, delivering value or whatever. So like 2 discovery videos, how I call it. And then I'm going to do 1 community video, how I call it, which is those videos where I share more my journey, my struggles. I open up more, people connect more with me emotionally, mindset-wise, all that stuff. And then I'm going to think as well about like doing 1 sales video, which is for one of my products or one of my service, so that I can still keep the business going. But yeah, that's how I usually think about it, to keep a good ratio between all of it.
So like to pull it back a little bit, the videos that are about discovery, it's to keep the business afloat in a sense, to continuously create the opportunity to but it's also to get more to connect more with people and find those people who are going to care about the community videos, because ultimately we keep the lights on with the business so that we can make more of that community type videos where we're actually making like a connection and an impact on people in a deeper way.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting how it's like, with that in mind, it's like 25% of the time we're doing the thing purely, and then 75% of the time we're doing the thing with like a kind of a pull to it, where it's like everything we do is artful. Like we don't want to make anything bad.
Yeah.
And at the same time, there's like ulterior motives. Like there's other motivations besides art with 3 of those 4 video types. And it's interesting to think, is the goal to get that 25% to someday be like 90%? I don't know.
Yeah, and so this is where right now I'm going to rethink that. I think at the beginning it was necessary because, to get the business going and all this, like, you have to do those kind of things. But I think it's been a while that it's going, and I don't need necessarily to do that anymore. It's also depending on what music business you create for yourself, right? And so now I'm kind of like re-navigating this and rearranging stuff. And so I'll probably be more like on a 50-50 basis, where like, just to discovery to community kind of thing. If something like this, I'll probably even, I think the best is if I can do both. Because like, for example, that video where I want to document myself signing tracks to labels, I think it could be a discovery, but it'll also be done in a way that is community based.
Right.
So kind of like trying to mix both formats would be kind of the best. But then it's also where, for example, we were saying like brainstorming like what new type of content could look like in the music YouTube space. For me as well, I think like so far, I've been relying solely on organic content for everything. And this year, I really want to get into paid ads so that I can let the paid ads push my organic content, basically, and still get the traffic that I need to keep the business afloat, like you were saying, but have much more time for community videos or music or, other stuff.
Yeah. The paid ads would go to your website, your store, or would it go to your YouTube channel?
I think I want to explore with both, because apparently I've had some people saying that they had a lot of success doing paid ads for the YouTube videos that performed well on their channel, so that it like maximized the traffic of like discovery to your videos, and then the videos have call to actions and stuff to go to my website or things like that. So I think I want to explore with that, but also in terms of like the actual like pure like music business side, I think I want to do paid ads for the free stuff that I offer, so that I can bump my email list and then sell through my email list.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's like really sharing everything like publicly right now. By teaching like my course and my mentorship students, but people are getting the juice now.
Hey, that's the thing about valuable information, is that it's sort of like when you have valuable information, you keep circling back to it, and you get deeper and deeper with the knowledge. So for instance, like you can imagine you're like climbing a mountain by circling around it, and each time you circle around, you see the same stuff, but from a higher and higher perspective, like more trees and further. And that's how it is, I think, with any of like talking about how we're going to do an ad strategy, or how we're going to make our art and how we're going to make our music and how we're going to make it all work. Like you can be repeating the same topic, but from a different angle with more experience, and people get a lot out of that, and I get a lot out of that. I mean, I've done ads campaigns, but one of the things that held me back was just the platform I was bringing people to didn't integrate well with Google Ads.
Oh, and you know what? You're the second person that tells me this.
Okay.
You're the second person that tells me this, so I need to be like really careful when I get into it, but I might just hire someone to do it. We'll see.
Yeah, I did hire someone to do it, and even they couldn't figure it out. And that person was no dummy. That person did everything that a person. I'll tell you though, if Shopify really integrates well, so if you can get like make a duplicate of your store on Shopify or something, that I know for sure that that's
what they were saying. About tracking or whatever. It's gonna be.
Yes.
A mess. It's
yeah,
gonna be great.
Abandoned carts.
But what were you doing ads for?
My teaching courses. I have a
Okay,
bunch of
got
music
it.
courses. I have a benlevinmusicschool.com. That's actually where I make my living, really. It's not.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to
Yeah.
know if it was for like your music business like offers or if it was for the YouTube.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, so you were sending people like straight into the sales page?
Yep, I had a sale and it was all about that sale, like a nice big sale. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good.
Hmm.
Interesting. So did you stop the ads?
Yes, I did. Yeah,
Okay, and
it was.
so you're back to like organic content and like email marketing, or how do you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm yeah, like one of the things I've been learning is how to make this work for me alone because I so yes, so the short answer is yeah, it's all organic right now. I'm like I'm a I guess I don't really see myself this way, but I've been told enough times I'm an eccentric artist. And
I would
and
say that's
I
true though. I would say that's true.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's all good. It's just funny like anything that requires a very objective, structured and mathematical approach is really hard for me to track. Like it I understand the importance of it. I don't look down upon it. I'm totally open to trying these things.
Yeah,
I need help with that sort of thing. And I do have a business mentor who's really been helping me a lot.
I have
But
business
you can,
mentors as well. Like we all have
yeah,
it.
it's important.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, I
something that
noticed
not a lot
it.
of people maybe admit, or
Mm,
because like that's the reason like I like doing mentorship myself, like for like having mentorship students, is because I myself love having mentors like that I pay
yeah,
for.
it's
um
important.
yeah, because like you got to learn from the people that are where you want to be.
Totally. Yeah, and yeah, it's like, and it's, yeah, I have so many, there's so many things that I really should do that are really good ideas that I don't do because I think they're wrong until somebody's like, why do you think it's wrong? And then I try to explain it. And I'm like,
And you can.
I guess it's because of my ego, because like it's just not how I see myself.
Interesting.
Um,
So okay,
yeah.
because I'm just reading The Mountain Is You about like self-sabotage,
Okay, I don't know
like
that,
kind of
but
like those
go
like
on.
limiting beliefs or whatever. You should
Yeah, I
probably
got
read it
plenty
because
of
that would
those.
probably help.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the mountain of you is you
The
or of
Mountain
you
Is You, basically like you're
is
your
you.
worst
Oh, you have
enemy
to
kind of
climb
thing, you
them.
know.
Gotcha.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough because like I think anyone can do all that. All this, it just ends up to the mindset and how you react to your own emotions and things like this. Because like it's tough. But um, I wanted to come back to a point that you were saying just before. You said you want to do this alone.
Well, at the moment, it's just like I don't have enough money to hire anyone, and so what do is mostly like I'm thinking when I say by this I mean promoting my business. Yeah,
Okay, all
like
right.
it's
So in this
yeah.
whole like YouTube music thing, are you like like a solopreneur, we'll say, like, or do you work with like an editor? Do you have like?
I Yeah, I do everything by myself at this moment. Although my wife is often in my videos singing and doing awesome stuff, but like yeah, generally
Wow,
it's just
this like impresses me
oh,
because
nice.
yeah, I mean, I don't. Have you ever done like weekly videos so on YouTube?
Yeah, yeah, I've gone really hard before. Yeah,
How do you do
like
the
last week.
editing? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me and I'm a bit obsessed with the editing,
No,
but
no,
like,
it takes forever.
yeah, it takes forever. And so like then
Yeah.
it was taking all my time away from music or even creating the
Mm,
business. And I was like, I don't
yeah.
want to do that. So yeah, that's when I decided to hire a video editor, and that was like the best thing ever.
Yeah, well, it depends on the way your videos are because I think the you I think you very clearly have a rich artistic life outside of YouTube and it's like YouTube is like this really interesting content thing and it like you're artistic with the way you do it, you've got good visuals and like very good communication and cool music and all the vibe is right, but you've got your music. Your music is sort of free of this thing. It to me it seems like your music has its own legs, and YouTube is very helpful in general. But for me, and so therefore someone can edit your YouTube videos, and you have this strong artistic identity that isn't entangled in that necessarily. And you can like say, oh, change this, change that. For me, like for the longest time, and maybe that's going to change because everything changes, the way I edit is so fundamental to my artistic expression because so much of my artistic life is the YouTube. Like I would, for so long, I would treat a YouTube video like an album, especially in the pandemic. I have this video called Music Theory to Explain God's Absence that is just like a 19-minute or something short film, and I'd make it in a month with some of my friends, and this was all of me. It was my music teaching, my music business, my art, my coping, my mourning, my return to good health. I went through all the phases of everything in that video, and that video did so well. And after at that point, 12 years or 11 years of making YouTube videos, that was the first time where I was like, I made a pure work of art that actually worked with the algorithm, and I got it in my head that I could do that from now on. I could just be an artist on YouTube, and that kind of it didn't kill my channel. Nothing will kill my channel. Nothing will kill me. I'm never going to stop. I cannot be defeated. But it made the channel not go this way for a while.
Yeah.
It went
so
that
do you?
way.
Yeah, because like basically you're thinking as like fundamentally you like editing the videos because you see it as a continuation of your art.
Yes, and also it would be really, really hard to get someone to do it unless
Exactly. Even if
were...
you streamline it and
Yeah.
you do like a artist branding kind of rules for the channel, you wouldn't enjoy having someone edit it.
I think at this stage I could do it for certain categories of my videos. I have a couple, we're talking about the new content, so I have a couple formats. I stole from blank so I could get better at songs. That I just did that one. I steal a song from a artist I really like, and then I try to write a song based on that. It's like a challenge and also songwriting. Great songwriting lesson. So that could be edited by someone else. That kind of video because it follows the usual.
It'd probably be cool for you to be able to kind of like have a mix of those two formats so that you can outsource half of your workload without, sacrificing your art.
I think that is a really good point. That's a really good point. And also it would make it so that the time I spend making artsy edited videos wouldn't be as much of an impedance on my business because I would save so much time on those other things. And I think that's a really good idea. Yeah.
So I'm curious to see, because I've been approaching, the YouTube with a lot of the business mindset. I think that's because I was ultimately just scared of not making enough money at the end of the month. So I was kind of always prioritizing it. How have you been approaching you have a course, you have offers. Do you think of the strategy behind the videos that you decide to put every month on your channel so that you can drive enough traffic to the course and get enough sales and things like that? Or don't you put so much thoughts into that? I'd be curious.
Generally, throughout the history of my channel, it started out focused on teaching everything I learned at Berklee College of Music for free so that people would sign up for lessons with me. And then it ended up being something I would just do on the side with my band touring all the time. And then in 2020, it became my everything, my art. And at some point, and then when I made my first course, that was the first time I ever made a plan. I had a business plan. So, Yeah, so I wrote the first chorus, and then I went to NAMM, that next time, whenever you do manage to go, I think you'll find it's really pleasant for that isolation thing. That's why I went this year. I had nothing else going on, but I went to see people basically.
Yeah, I wanted to,
Um,
so yeah.
yeah, next time. Um, yeah, they'll be sticking around, I think. I don't know, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's
probably.
fun. Yeah. So like the plan with the course was I went to NAMM for the first time, and I went with my friend who's like, he knows all the YouTubers, and he introduced me to a lot of really nice, cool YouTubers, and then I just collaborated with all of them, and then I put my course out, and it did really well. And the collaboration was so fun, and also just, mixing audiences, bringing in new people, and that was the plan. That was it. It was a pretty
So, like,
simple plan.
right now,
Yeah.
what are you doing to sell your course?
Well, at the moment, I'm making a new course, and I'm working really hard on it, and it's super, super sick. Like, it's going to be really, really, really big and good. And so right now, I'm not doing much to sell my course. I'm just teaching music lessons, one-on-one
So, like, right
lessons.
now, you just like leave the link in the descriptions of your YouTube
Yeah.
videos, and you just let it
I'll like
there,
mention it.
and like here
Yeah.
and there, like some people buy it.
Yeah. I'll say like, if you want to work on writing your own songs with me, go to benlevinmusicschool.com where I've got my calendar. You can pick a time.
Do you try
That kind
to
of
do a call to action like every video?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But
So pretty much
it's
the same.
easy when you're calling people to your own stuff, that's easy. It's like, cause it's so organic. It's like, this video is brought to you by me.
It's funny because I do feel more awkward promoting my own stuff than the stuff for sponsors.
That's different from me.
I think it just comes down to, I don't know, confidence, maybe just experience,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know, because it's like the stuff that I created, so I'm like, I'm shy, because I think I'm shy from, like, and that's one thing that people don't notice is like, I am shy. And I know you can't really see this on the videos because, it's pre-recorded, so it's
Yeah.
edited and all this. Obviously, I'm still myself, but it's like I'm alone in my bedroom, right? So like I'm confident, I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
But I am shy otherwise. So like I wouldn't go touring, like in front
Yeah.
of thousands of people. Like I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So that's why it's hard for me to promote. And a lot of people would not think that, but that is truth. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think part of why I like promoting my own stuff as opposed to sponsors is there.
Oh, it's not that I
like
don't
anyone.
like it.
Oh no. Yeah, I guess why I'm more comfortable
Yeah.
with it. Yeah, I know. Of course, yeah, that's how it all works, right? But it's more like the comfort for me comes from, I guess, two things. One is knowing like, and my stuff is the most relevant to my audience that of anything that I could possibly talk about, because like,
Yeah, that's true.
if they liked the video, they will definitely like the course. Let's say you're making a PDF about like how you make kick drums or something. I don't know. Like, let's say you're doing that. The reason why, even though there's plenty of channels and plenty of people out there who've explained that before, the reason why they'd go to you is they like your vibe and they like the way that you explain things.
Yeah, I say
And
that all the time.
Yeah, that's super valuable. Like that is the difference between someone knowing it and not knowing it.
Yeah, because like
there are people.
sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, there are people there are topics that change their lives that are extremely valuable to them, that like they're so glad they learned, that the only reason they didn't learn it was there wasn't anyone around who said it in a way they understood.
Yeah, because like I was gonna say, like that's the problem that I see. Because like I help most like aspiring music creators, like people that wants to start into like this online music business thing, and a lot of time the biggest objection I see all the time is saying like, people are saying to me like, but Orly, like why, there's already so many videos on that topic. Why would people listen to me? And I'm like,
Yep.
exactly for what you just said. It's your
Yeah.
vibe, your way of doing things, your way of thinking, your way of explaining things. Like everyone's gonna connect with a different person. And yeah, it's for that reason that there is space for everyone out there.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah. If you're like, ever wondering, hey, there's also people out there who are better at this stuff than me. I would say like a lot of the time we're wrong about that. Like we look at music hierarchically when generally the hierarchical way of thinking about music is less and less useful the more when you start talking about people with more and more experience. Like really list the 5 best rappers of all time. Really do that. You can't. There's like thousands of equally amazing rappers who are so different from each other, and so that's why whenever you hear these like, "What's your all-time 5?" Like those questions are frustrating because they're forcing hierarchical thinking on a purely horizontal plane. You have gotten at a certain point, you get past the levels. Like there's certainly levels at the beginning. It's like, do you know what panning is? Because if you don't, you're not going to necessarily be as good as someone who does,
Yeah.
right? Like there is a verticality to it, but I do think at a point, it's really unlikely that you're actually teaching the thing that you think you're worse at. It's unlikely you're teaching it worse. You're
Yeah.
probably just teaching it different.
Yeah, so about the being comfortable, I think, about like, because like it's not like that I don't like I definitely prefer promoting my own stuff than the sponsor stuff for sure.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I think I feel more comfortable just because it's not my product. It's kind of like almost like if
Hmm.
something goes wrong, it's not mine. Whereas like if I promote mine, and I know it's not right at all, but with mine, it's like, I don't know. I think it's like a thing of confidence. It's like it's hard to be like, yeah, really download it because like it's like buy it. It's really gonna help you. Like being confident about it and being sure of it and like I don't know why because like I've sold like hundreds if not more than that of everything and I barely had any refund request. Great testimonials and
Hmm.
all, but there's always that fear of like, oh, I don't want someone to like buy and then not like it. And like that's
Sure.
this stress basically. Like I want everyone to
Yeah.
like be happy of their purchase.
Yeah. That's the right thing to want, I think.
Yeah, no, for
That
sure.
that's good.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I
But then
don't.
it makes you feel like not confident. Like I think it makes you look like not confident about your own product, and I don't think that's a good thing.
Mm,
It's just that yeah,
sure.
I'm a shy person, but with experience it'll come. Because I'm still like in a way new to this. It's only been like
Hmm.
4 years and a half for me.
Yeah,
So
nice.
and
Yeah,
I'm
you're
only
doing
like 2
great.
years and a half doing this full time. So yeah,
Yeah, well, yeah, you're doing a really great job. I think, like, I mean, that's amazing, really. And yeah, I think it's awesome that you have like the wisdom to know when to slow down, when to pick it up again. You're
yeah.
not panicking about taking time off. It's like really important to
Yeah, I
do.
think
And
a lot of people are scared about this, but like also to be honest, that time I didn't have a choice. Like
sure.
because like my like this time it was like related to like a personal health issue. I literally could
Yeah.
not work, so I physically
Yeah.
had to take a break. So yeah, and it doesn't do much. But yeah, I think it's just about like yeah, being able to see like all right to see it's not as oh okay well I guess my time on YouTube is done I should quit, but more as like all right where next, like what's the next phase
Yeah.
of my channel, what's the next phase of my evolution, and just
Right.
see it this way, and that's how you succeed I think overall because it's really just the people that are still here that succeeds, because if you don't give up you
Sure.
can't like fail in my opinion. um
Every day there's people giving up. So,
and so that makes more
yeah.
space for you.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I have this thought that kind of calms me, that it's not necessarily true, but it calms me. My thought is I'm going to be the last guy on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like because I just see a lot of people come and go, and
Yeah, you just gotta outlast
re-
everyone.
yeah, I respect everybody who's chosen to stop. By the way, like I think
Yeah,
like
it is tough.
it's just for me. This is kind of just like part of who I am, and I've spent 6 month periods not posting, and
Yeah, taking
you
the
just
healthy breaks that you needed to still
yeah
be there years and decades later.
yeah exactly.
Yeah, and that's how
It's
you
funny
succeed over the long term.
yeah, like how we all complain about the algorithms because there's a lot to complain about.
Yeah.
One thing that's nice about it is you can take a break and then come back with a banger video,
Yeah.
and it doesn't care that you took a break,
I
right?
mean,
Like it's just
when
like
I went like just 2 months, 3 months before I went full time,
hmm
I took a full break on Instagram and YouTube for like a month. I didn't post anything, like a month and a half, because I needed a break. I came back with a better style, better quality, better format, closer to what I enjoy. And 2 weeks later, I had a video go viral on Instagram to like over 1 million views. And that's what helped me to go full time 2 months later.
there you go.
So
There you
it's
go.
always like, if you see it in like a healthy way, like, it's not a failure, it's just a lesson. It's like, take a break, learn the lesson from it, which I'm doing right now. I'm like, okay, where did it go wrong? What do I need to adapt now to continue in a better, healthier direction? And then adapt, and that's it.
Yeah, nice. Let's remember that one. Yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah, like if you don't have if you don't believe in yourself that you could come back, then you're sort of doomed. Like you do
Yeah.
have to stop when it's time to stop, and then or pause. It's really pausing.
Yeah, it's just a pause.
People say a lot of the time. People say things like, "I used to blank," like I used to exercise, I used to eat healthy. But it's like
Check.
if you
Check.
if you eat tomorrow, if you eat healthy tomorrow, you're eating healthy again. If you
Yeah,
exercise it for like
yeah.
5 minutes, you're exercising. It's like you just pausing. You're not stopping.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, that's a good way to seeing it. Obviously you can also fall into the other not healthy way of like procrastinating but feeling good about it because you're just pausing. But you
Yeah,
do need to go back into
true.
it at some point. But yeah. Let's finish on this last question because I really want to because you have much more experience on YouTube than me. What has been like the hardest part to deal with for you as a music creator over the last 11 years, and how have you dealt with it?
The hardest thing for me in my YouTube career is when you think you figured out something that will work, that will sustain you as a person and as a creative person, especially when you think you've solved it, and then you are proven wrong. Because unfortunately, there is no formula that just lasts forever. Or maybe there is like a certain kind of like take whatever is trending in the news and then say something crazy about it. Like maybe that will always work. But like for us, we're in a kind of unique space of like we have to keep learning and we have to keep teaching what we learn. Like we're part of our whole presence here is that we're learners, not just teachers, not just explainers. In fact, a lot of the time you're explaining what you learned and how you learned it.
I'm a reporter.
Like you're like a reporter. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and actually that's a great way of looking at it. You're an artist and a reporter. And the reporter doesn't tell the artist what to do. The reporter tells everyone what the artist did, and I like that. Yeah, and so I think the most difficult thing is just like finally feeling this relief of wow, I can just kind of do this and it's all going to be okay, and then it not being that way.
It's like it's always like, oh, it's working, oh, it's stopping, I need something else, oh, find something new, okay, now it stops, okay, I need to reinvent. It's always that, always.
Totally.
And a lot of people aren't ready for those little parts.
That's for sure. And what you do is you keep, if it was like this and then it goes like this, you keep doing the thing that got you here, even though it's going this way. You keep
it's
doing
exactly
it over
this,
and over again.
What got you here won't get you there. It's exactly that.
Totally. Yeah. I haven't heard that before, but that is
really
exactly
it's a
right.
famous one. What got you here
Cool.
won't get you
Yeah.
there. Yeah, it's like, for example, what got me here is the organic content. But now
Yeah.
I'm feeling very creatively burned out for like the organic way, because I don't want to have to rely so much on doing just what the audience wants me to do. So that's where I'm like, okay, I'm at this point now. What should I do now going forward? Maybe pay ads. It didn't get me.
Yeah.
It didn't get me here, but it will get me there.
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's yeah. I mean, that's really also a good direction to try, like to find a way to make it more about like clarity of your message, and then making good strategy with the ads rather than
Yeah.
having it kind of be this mushy like, "Hi, I'm a person that you relate to. Please buy something." Oh God,
Yeah, exactly.
like
yeah.
that can if that's all if
Yeah.
that's like all your life, it really
Yeah,
is
honestly,
a
like
lot.
I want to really like be able to like the traffic that I need to get. I want to get 50% from the organic content and 50% from the traffic, like paid ads, so that I can be a bit more free and like creatively, and yeah, not being so much strategizing about all my videos and be like, hey, buy this, buy that, or doing this video because I
Totally.
know it's going to promote that. Yeah, and focus more on the music for myself. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is a good way to deal with the problem I was just talking about. Um, because, yeah, like diversifying your approach makes it so that if you do find something that works and then it stops working, there's other things that are also working at the
Yeah.
same time. So it's never the ship is sinking. You don't get that feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and it's a hard feeling to push away, because then
Yeah.
once you start seeing things go down, you're like, oh shit, it's the end. But it's like, no, there's like
Yeah.
a lots of other stuff that you can try.
Totally. Yeah. And like the end is definitely kind of a cocky thing to think that we could ever figure out when the end is, because we don't have a clue where this is all going. We don't know like what's going to happen to YouTube in the first place. Like we're already
That's a
seeing
scary
it
thought.
change so much. Yeah, yeah, but at the same time you need to remember that your biggest asset is you. It's not your YouTube channel.
And
It's
your
not
email
your
list.
subscriber base. Right. It's right. It's just you and the list.
And
Yeah,
the
that's
list.
all that matters. Yeah. But even without the email list, it's really you, because you figured out how to deal with how to build to where you are, and like you said, what got you here won't get you there. Like,
Yeah.
at some point, YouTube formalized. I think it formalized shortly after you got on it. Like it wasn't quite formalized yet, where the majority of big YouTubers are big companies,
Yeah.
and
That's exactly
it became like a
Yeah,
real
it's like the
like,
personal branding, really. That's
yeah,
all it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But we'll be all right.